Hello and welcome back to the Shmuseum. Once again, that probably sounds quite strange coming from myself and not from Tim. However, as you guys know, he's still out in the USA. So today's video is brought to you by myself and Tom, who's behind the camera, so we've had a bit of a role reversal. Anyway, there's been a few changes at the Shmuseum over the last couple of days. The 675 LT is now back from its service. If you spin round this way, you'll notice that Louis has now left. Tony from Turbo Transport has come to collect him. He's hopefully being fixed, and maybe one day we can have it back down at the Shmuseum to clean the floor for us. Now, there's been a few comments on one of our latest videos saying, whose Abarth 124 is that in the garage? Is it a new Shmemobile? Why is it in there? So for today, we're going to run you through my Abarth 124 Spider. I've got some new wheels sitting at home in my garage that we need to go and collect, so we're going to jump into the G-Wagon, bring them back over to the Shmuseum, install them on the car and run you through all the modifications I've done on the car and in general why I bought the car. As we said, Louis is no longer here, but he has left his mark on the Shmuseum, a couple oil stains, hydraulic fluid stains on the floor of our office. Let's jump back a few days to when Tony came to collect it and also when the 675 was kindly dropped back from its service.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Turbo Transport.
How are you? You okay?
Not too bad.
Morning, mate. How are you?
Morning, good.
Us British weather. And
lovely.
You're in shorts.
Yeah.
In the pouring down the rain.
I'm transport, so.
Says it all. So you're here to pick up Louis?
Poor Louis.
Yes, poor Louis. Unfortunately, well, you know the story.
What have you done to it?
Zach.
Oh, okay.
Zach did it.
Zach did it.
We wasn't responsible. He was driving it and it split a hose and, well, you can see the result.
It's had a little wee in the floor.
Yes, yeah, got a bit excited, as Tim put it, and we've now got some stains on the floor, but it's all loaded up, strapped down. It's hopefully good enough for you to take it away.
I'll double check it.
Of course.
You know me by now.
Yes. So I guess we're going to need to get your truck in.
Yeah, we'll have to find a way to get the truck in, obviously.
Yeah, it's a bit of a big old beast. I'm sure you'll manage it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's crack on.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, you are all loaded up and good to go.
All locked and loaded, ready to go, mate.
Thank you very much for relieving us of the last paperweight we've had for a while.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Good to see you, mate.
Likewise, mate. Likewise.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, mate.
Right, sit the road.
Safe travel, and we'll see you soon. The 675 LT has just been brought back from its 5th year service. You'll see it's currently parked with the lift up for getting it in and out of the trailer, so we'll get it reshuffled, get that back down, and job's a good one.
Welcome back to the present day. The LT is now parked back in its space, and as you can see, Louis is now gone. Huge thanks to Tony from Turbo Transport for collecting it. Always a pleasure to see him. Now it's time to start on my car, so let's jump in the G and collect my wheels.
So as Brad said, we're going to be taking the G-Wagon to go and collect his wheels, because we're going to struggle to fit in a Abarth, of course. So that does, of course, mean just unconnecting the C-Tech smart charger over here, which has been keeping the battery in good condition. And then we'll be good to go.
Welcome to my garage. Here are the wheels that we're going to be fitting. They are the Rotorform OZRs, and honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing to get them on the car. So let's load them in the G and head back to the Shmuseum. Right, we've made it back to the Shmuseum and we've got all of the tools and accessories laid out. Jack, centre caps, locking wheel nuts, etc. I guess now we need to pull the wheels out of the G, which fits in here pretty nicely. A little bit of a squeeze, but we could probably get quite a few sets, I guess, if we really needed to. We'll pull them out, lay them out in front of the car and then make a start on the install. The car's now up in the air, as you can see. The front wheel is pretty much ready to come off, just this last nut to remove. And this can be taken straight off. All that's left to do now is take the rear wheel off, take the front and rear spacers off, and then pop the new wheels on, and we're good to go. That is the first wheel on, and now it may look a little strange, seeing as you can see the 4 lug nuts. However, if you come over this way, you'll see on this wheel, it's got the lug nut cover and center lock cap in place, which looks so much better. But that's front done. Let's get the rest done, and we'll show you when we're finished. That's all of the old wheels into their tyre bags. I think now's the perfect time to load them into the back of the G and get them back to the garage, seeing as they're not going to be needed for a little while. And as you can see, they fit pretty perfectly, realistically. That's it. The wheels have been fitted to the car, and I think it's only right I give you guys a full tour of it and run you through the modifications that I've done. obviously starting with the wheels themselves. These are the Rotiform OZRs. They are 18 by 8.5 inch and have been custom drilled to a 4x100 fitment. These are sitting on top of the factory Brembo brake calipers, which now have EBC yellow stuff pads and MTEC C-hook discs. Now, as you can probably tell, I've had the vehicle lowered on H&R springs, which has massively transformed the handling characteristics of it, along with making it look 10 times better. From factory, these sit way too high. Now, if you join me in the interior, you will see I have the black with red seat option and the optional Bose stereo system. I've also had my steering wheel fully wrapped in Alcantara, along with the 12 o'clock marker. Now, one thing I love about this car is how quick the roof goes up and down. So let me give you guys a demonstration. Pull the lever, pull the roof up, and it clips into place. Same thing to put it down. Release it, pop it behind you, and click it in. Simple as that. The AMG GTR Roadster sitting just behind us may have a very quick modern electric roof. However, you've got to say, it's got nothing on this. Anyway, let me jump out and we'll go around to the engine bay. Now, under the bonnet, we have a 1.4 litre turbocharged engine, which I've fitted a GFB diverter valve plus to, and I've also uprated the coil packs. Now, as standard, these cars have 170 brake horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque, and seeing as they weigh just over a tonne, can do 0 to 60 in about 6.7 seconds. Now, given that we are in the Shmuseum, it would be rude of us not to do a startup. So if you guys come around the back to the Record Monza exhaust system, I'll jump in and we'll hear how she sounds. How good does that sound for a 1.4? To think that this is the factory exhaust system that comes on every Abarth 124 Spider in the UK anyway, is mental. As mentioned earlier, the 675 LT was dropped back from its service and it does look pretty great with this lineup. Now, I've never actually been out in the 675 LT, and Tom, we haven't been out for lunch yet.
I think that sounds like an excuse to take a McLaren for a drive.
You know what? Let's take it for a drive.
And I think it's probably been sat here long enough that we can get another cold start, so let's go. Well, this has not gone to plan. When Brad first suggested bringing the McLaren out, the sun was shining and it was a glorious day, and now, well, the clouds are not looking very good and it started to rain, so...
But we do have a tunnel.
But we do have a tunnel, which will be dry inside there at least, so we can put that one down a little bit, have some active dynamics. The snaps on this are fairly aggressive, it's safe to say. But yeah, not looking forward to continuing the rest of this drive on Trofeos in the rain, but let's go and get some food. And here we have one Fuckleby Daily Aston, and it's a classic. On our way back from lunch, we have just quickly popped out to one of our favourite country clubs just to get some photos with the LT, so keep an eye on the Shmemobiles and Shmuseum Instagram page. I'm sure they will be coming soon. Now, this is definitely not the car we want to be out in the rain, but I have to say, certainly doesn't look bad at all with a bit of a moody background going on. And so Brad, your first time in the 675.
Yes.
What are your thoughts so far?
One, it's very quick.
It's quite quick. Yeah.
The acceleration they have is pretty stupid. The ride comfort is again pretty good.
Yep.
I cannot complain about it.
For something of this calibre of car, something that goes this quickly, not only in a straight line but around a track, it's phenomenally comfortable when it's just in normal mode.
I can imagine putting it into track and sport handling, I'm sure it gets a lot firmer, but for what we're using it for, comfort is perfect, or normal is spot on. But no, really cool car. I mean, it looks immense. And I mean, like we said, from the photos we've taken, it really works well in the rain, even though it's not the car you choose to take out in the rain.
No, maybe on a different set of tyres. Maybe we need to lose these Trofeos at some point. Perfect on track, but with our British summers, no, not my first choice.
But in general, what a car, eh?
What a welcome.
Proper piece of kit.
Oh yes. Now, let's get her back in one piece, get it parked back up, and crack on with the day. So we are back with the 675. Unfortunately, the weather stopped and we managed to get the roof down for the last bit of the journey, which was definitely nice. It's not often that happens here. So, as you can see, we've got the trusty tape measure out, decibel meter, and the good old blue cone. So it's all set up at the 1 meter point. And just as we did with the Lamborghini, whilst this is warm, is we're going to see how loud this is. So, one of you guys had a great idea in the comments, which was to give you some perspective on how loud these are. And that was to use an iPhone alarm to see how loud that is. So something that you guys will be familiar with. So Brad has his iPhone in hand, and we are going to be trying that out now, see how loud that is before we start the McLaren and go with that one.
Cool. So we need to pop this into max.
Yep, if we pop this into its maximum mode.
Cool, we'll go about a meter away.
So from about a meter away, we have about 73.5 decibels. So hopefully that gives you guys some perspective on just how loud these are. So the Hurricane idled at just over 90, and I think it revved up to about 124 decibels. So significantly louder than that. Now, let's see what the purple one can do. So first things first, let's get it started, see where it goes to there. It's probably going to spike up a little bit on the startup. So we'll see that and then get the idle, hold at 4,000, and then maybe we'll turn on active dynamics and go a little higher up the rev range.
So that went straight up to 95.8 and it's dropping down to anywhere between or around 80, 81, 82. So that has hit 109.3.
What have we got? What have we got? 109.3. Okay, so it's definitely a bit quieter than the STO. Let's get active dynamics on. Let's go further up the rev range, see how close it gets.
Wow.
What have we got? What have we got? 114.6. I expected to go a little bit higher than that. So the Hurricane STO is about 10 decibels louder than the 675. I think we expected that, but I certainly expected a little bit more noise out of this. Very interesting results. We'll have to get together a chart and start making a list of them all. Now, me and Brad have been speaking specifically about the C63 Black Series and the wheels. Now, as mentioned in one of the previous videos where myself and Tim did a full walk around of all of the cars in here, we said how these have been resprayed in gloss black rather than the OEM matte black finish with the silver lip going all the way around the edge, which is something we'd love to restore. So I think what we're going to do is hop in the C63, head over to the guys at Whoops Will Fix It, and see if we can organise to surprise Tim for when he comes back with some freshly refurbished wheels in the OEM finish, which of course means unplugging the C-Tech Smart Charger, and most importantly, another cold start from a loud V8. So let's jump in and head over and see what they say. Never gets any less silly. Now once we get back, I think we'll have to do a DB test with this as well. So we have just left the guys at Whoops Will Fix It and had a word with them, and there's a few different options we could go for doing these wheels, and we've selected the one we think is most appropriate, and we will be getting them dropped down here tomorrow to have them done in Tim's absence. Now we can only hope that he appreciates the surprise. I'm sure he will, and we will return these wheels back to their OEM finish that they had when it left the factory in the matte black with the silver lip, and I think they're going to look absolutely phenomenal. So tomorrow I think we'll load up the G-Wagon, get those over, and that will be a separate video coming soon on the Shmuseum channel of part 1 restoring C63 Black Series. So we're now cruising around the M25 after having left Whoops, and unlike earlier on, we have glorious sunshine, and for once the M25 is fairly free of traffic, but we are in a C63 Black Series, which means we do have the lovely M156 6.2 litre, and that glorious noise that goes along with it. So I think we're going to continue enjoying this one, get back to the Shmuseum, and we'll see you soon.
I can see that Tom's got his trusty tape measure out again. Tom, what are we doing this time?
Well, it's only one thing that could mean, which is another dB test, this time with the C63, seeing as it's still nice and warm. Take a guess, how loud do you think this one's going to be?
Louder than the LT.
Yes, definitely louder than the LT.
And the LT was
114 as we've got written on the board.
So I'm going to say 121.
So you're saying quieter than the STO?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not so sure. I think it's going to be very close. I think this could maybe just edge it. I'm going to say 126.
Cool. Well, there's only one way to find out.
So we will now set this to maximum, as always. Currently it's just picking up our voices. So I'll jump in, give it a start, and we'll do the same procedure as before. Hold it at about 4,500 RPM, see what it is then go a bit higher up the rev range and see how loud it really is. So let's get this one going.
And obviously, again, we need to get the idle, and there's going to be a very large spike from the startup, so we will have to reset once that's on, but let's see how loud it is. So that instantly spiked to 93.9, so if we reset the mode and see what it idles at.
I think that would have been considerably more on a cold start. That was quite subtle for this thing.
So this idles at 66, 65, a lot louder when we speak.
So again, on idle, it's fairly quiet. It's only when you're yobbing it about. So let's do a bit of that and see what happens.
Well, I have a feeling that I was very wrong with my final guess.
So we're at 105, approximately half, 2/3 of the way up the rev range. So let's see what it can really do.
Will this be another decibel meter on the floor?
I don't think it's going to do quite that, but let's see.
Well, it was very close to coming off.
That was considerably louder.
119.
We have 119, so I think I was very wrong. And
I was
still,
pretty close. 121.
You weren't far off at all. And what that proves is that the Hurricane STO is very, very loud, and I'm not sure what's going to take it off the leaderboard. Maybe the GT8, maybe the SLS, but once they're up to temperature one day, we'll find out.
It has been a long day here at the Shmuseum. In fact, it's been a long week. It feels like ages ago that Louis was collected and the 675 LT was returned from its 5th year service. Then it was time to jump into the G to collect the new wheels for my Abarth 124 Spider and give you guys a full walk around of it. Now I'm hoping that's answered some of your questions. No, it's not a new Shmuseum, but you will be seeing it in the future from time to time. After that, it was time for lunch and the perfect opportunity to jump into the 675 LT for my first ride. I was blown away by the car. The performance is ridiculous, the comfort is incredible, and the gear shift cracks through the tunnels were great. We also thought we would grab a couple of pictures, which you can see on the Instagrams linked below. Once we were back at the Shmuseum, it was time to jump into yet another Shmemobile, this time the C63 Black Series, where we headed over to Whoops Will Fix It to discuss our plans of surprising Tim with a freshly refurbished set of wheels. Now this may seem a little bit confusing, because as this video goes live, Tim is still in the US. So when you guys find out our plans, Tim is also finding out them too. But as this video goes live, the wheels will already have been refurbished. So when Tim returns to the UK, he will see them and you guys will see them in a future video. Now, as usual, it's another late night here at the Shmuseum, typical. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.